I'm God's Will, and today we're doing two movies into one video. So I'm thinking that after this, I will have another video up on. I'll have a video up on Saturday. I want to do them at least a couple. I want to do them. I'm gonna try and get them out as quick as I can, just as quick as I can get them out. So we're reviewing Halloween 2 and Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. We're starting off with Halloween 2, and before the new one came out, I would have said this would be the best sequel. Now, in my heart, this is still a good film. But, of course, it was cut from the new one. And so now, it starts out with, the ending of Halloween 1, Loomis shooting Michael off the balcony. Michael's not there. A flaw that I have with this movie is that why is he shocked? He legit just looked at him from the edge of the balcony and it's gone. He didn't seem shocked there, so why is he shocked when he comes downstairs and sees it? That was one of my very few issues with the movie, but every movie is not gonna be perfect. Like, there's gonna be some error you're gonna have in your movie. It's like your draft. It's like in your piece of writing. You have to edit it and proofread it, and you will not get it down pat in your first type through, or write through. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. That same thing goes with movies. I never made a movie before in my life, but I know for a fact it isn't easy. Like, I'm not a movie maker, but I know it's just common sense that you're not gonna make it in a day. It's gonna take time and effort from the people involved with you. If you guys can all correlate, like, you guys get criticized by your people there, that helps your movie, and you test it, anyways, I'm getting off topic, so let's get into the review, and then you got Loomis saying the line that everyone pretty much remembers that Loomis said in this movie is that you don't know what theft is, and then the song, to me, that's cool. I like that. I like how the neighbor just said, oh, he's been annoyed with the trick-or-treaters. And I like how Loomis just, had to save someone over literal death. So, I like that. I like that scene a lot. So then, of course, you got the pumpkin. The pumpkin, with the song. And just like the first one, I like that. I like how these movies connect in a way. Like, you'll see later in these reviews that 4 and 5 pretty much are the movie. Halloween 5 starts off where Halloween 5 ended, but we'll get to that movie later. But still, so then you got, of course, Laurie going to the hospital and stuff. I'm not gonna review the whole movie, but I'm gonna tell you the parts that basically I can say, and you'll obviously remember. That her going to the hospital, they had to put her asleep. She didn't want it, but she had to. I mean, she didn't have to, but it's really stupid. You cannot put, if a doctor wants you to put to sleep, and I said I don't want to go to sleep, the doctor can't. They cannot. That's illegal. You cannot you can't put a drug in a patient if they don't want it. It's like if you don't want your flu shot, the doctors can't argue, even though you need your flu shot to stay away from the flu, but they can't argue. They can testify in court about them giving shot against their own will. So that was just so wrong. And you got this creepy guy, he looks way older than Laurie. It was just, what? So, first of all, and then you got the Ben Traynor scene. Well, and yeah, he gets hit. But there, he was mentioned in the first movie by Laurie and Annie in the car. and that's it. He just gets killed off. Your thing was you could have just made Jimmy Lloyd. That's his name. I remember that being his name. Why couldn't you make that guy been trainer? It would have made more sense, in my opinion. See, like, and pretty much, yeah. And then, of course, Lori is dreaming and stuff. It's pretty much, yeah. She dreams about Michael, which I don't get that. And then you got the you know, that one lady that was with Loomis the whole time saying that she said the file said that about Lori being Michael's sister. And to me, I like how they change it up and say that she's not his sister. That pretty much, that saying, like, it's giving Michael motivation. You're not supposed to do that. Like, it didn't mess up the series too much. I mean, Michael was still Michael. Like, he was still a killer. Like, it didn't change the fact. Just, it wasn't because they're related, he doesn't kill anymore. So, at least it doesn't change how Michael acts towards her in later. Like, I like how Michael doesn't have any mercy on her. So, yeah, it's nothing major, but still a kind of a flaw. But John Carpenter, he said years later now that he just made that choice through the writer's block, and I can understand that. It's hard writing a movie and just, making it. It's very hard. It's not easy. And it's goes again with your writing. Like, you have to edit it. Like, that's the thing. You cannot be perfect. So, then, of course, Loomis is, Loomis is good in this movie. But I'll reveal the ending after I get all the parts. So, then, after the Ben Traynor death scene, you, of course, got where one of the officers tells Sheriff Brackett that Annie died. And Sheriff Brackett, he gets mad at Loomis, which is, it's not a flaw. Like, I mean, because he thinks, he thinks that Loomis let him out and purposely let him kill Annie. Like, I would see how someone would think that. You can't tell me that someone in this world, if they're in that situation, like, what are you gonna do? If you're standing with the guy who's a psychiatrist of the man that just killed your daughter, like, what the hell are you gonna do? You're gonna want to you want to take your anger out on someone that was there. Loomis, he's the one that knows Michael best out of anyone in the whole series. And of course, you got that scene where the kid gets an apple of an urban legend that totally isn't true. I thought at first when I saw that, the first time I saw the movie, I was like, oh, Laura's gonna help him. But then a scene later, literally not even in a scene later, they're out and they're okay. What? What? What was the point of that? I don't see how you just put this random scene in the movie if it's not gonna go anywhere. That's like saying, so here's an example. That's like saying if I made a movie and I said, if I was just trying to talk about how Michael, that's like saying if, so let's use the kind of the new, okay, I'm trying to think of an example. Hang on. So that's like showing, so you have the first ending of the movie, and just after, you find out Michael Myers is dead. And then you have the full movie, and you find out that Michael Myers was just some random guy, and that he died in just the first shot. That Loomis shot in the... That's like saying Michael Myers died in the first movie. So what would be the point of the second movie? So, It was probably added just for time filler, which I for it's not a bad scene. And so now, uh, let's talk about the kills. Definitely gorier, like it has more gore and more blood than the first Halloween. Wait, the first movie didn't even have any gore, but you don't need to have blood and gore to have a good movie. That's where people think, oh, Rob Zombie's Halloween's better. No, it ain't. His first movie was, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, it wasn't as bad as his second movie, but of course, but since it's a new movie, you gotta add new stuff to your kills, and I like that. I like it. Like he's in a hospital. He's using hospital tools. That makes sense because they're in the hospital. Giving the nurse a shot in her head. That makes full sense, and I that sounds believable. Yeah. So then you got the sex scene. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Yeah, you do see nudity. I mean, that's it. Yeah, I want to keep it a PG. There you go. There's a sex scene. Nudity. That's it. So basically, then of course Michael kills everybody besides Laurie. So then Laurie is out and about, and then of course Jimmy dies. I don't know. Like, you don't know. You don't see him. Like, he slips on the blood that he sees the nurse, like, coming out. Like, the blood was coming out of the IV, and he goes in the room and slips. And then Laurie hides in the car later in the movie. And Jimmy comes in and says, oh, we're gonna get out of here. And then he just passed out, and then Laurie moved his head so he wasn't like honking the horn anymore. Laurie started trying to get the car, and of course you got the chasing. So Michael kills the nurse, sticks her up, and I'll call them sandals. They come off her feet. They fall on the ground, and Michael pushes on the ground. Laurie, like, she's just looking at it, like her sight's a little bit bad. I think she's trying to fully see what's going on, and then she does. And then she starts running away from Michael, of course. They run downstairs. You can basically get what I'm trying to say. And the one thing that made this scene less scary was his little knife. I mean, what the heck is that knife doing? It's like, oh, are you gonna? I don't get. I mean, I get it. A little knife like that can kill you, but it looked weird. Like, he was like holding it like if you would like hold a cigarette. I don't know. I mean, in the movie, in the first one, he used a butcher's knife. And now you're supposed to say he uses a little knife? I don't get that. That it always looked weird to me. But maybe there wasn't a butcher's knife in the hospital that I could use at that time. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. So then, so now let's go back to the scene after Laurie gets out of the car. Loomis and that girl and the officer shows up. And then, of course, they go inside the hospital that Laurie and Michael were just in. And Laurie's trying to help me. I mean, you're probably thinking, oh, why did she just shout immediately? Well, she didn't have her voice. I think that she got a breath in. I didn't think I don't know. I mean, you could say she could have screamed, but yeah, I think her voice was still dead because she was screaming a lot in the first one because it's still on the same night. It's legit hours after the first movie. So yeah. So then Michael comes out, and then Mike and Lori run to the house, and she's like banging on the door. Loomis lets her in. Michael busts through the glass, and Loomis shoots him. And then the officer, being the dumb one, he's like, "Oh, he's still breathing." And then Loomis is like trying to see if Lori's okay, which, yes, you should do that. Then he warned the officer not to touch him, go anywhere, stay away from the guy. But then he gets his throat slit, and then Loomis doesn't have any guns in his bullet, so Lori gets him to run away, and they run into this room, really flammable shit, and they turn it all stuff on, and then of course Lori runs away, and then Loomis says, "It's time, Michael. It's time." And of course, it blows up, and I would say one of the cool shots. It was scary. Like when Michael is walking and he's like on fire and shit. It's like he's walking towards Lori. It's like nothing. You can also he gets shot in the eyes. He can't see. It's like no matter what you do, even though he is on fire, he is still have a task. His task is to kill Lori, and he won't stop at nothing. If he's on fire, heck, if his head's blown off, he'll still go after Lori, and I like that. It's like he's a mechanical robot that has to do the task that you have to. I like that. That's scary. And then of course Michael falls down, and you get a close up. You don't get to see his face. It's all burnt up, and yeah, and then you get the ending, Mr. Sandman, Okay, I'm sorry about that random honk, but that was totally not me, and so that was pretty much the end of the movie, and yeah, I rate that movie I rated 8 out of 10. Still true to my heart. I like, you know what? I don't think I can say so yeah. That's my rating, and now I'm gonna move on to Halloween 3. Alright, so now I'm gonna be reviewing Halloween 3. You know what, I didn't like it at first when I was younger because, Michael Myers wasn't there. So the way that John Carpenter wanted to go the series after, the second one, he wanted to turn it into an anthology series, and on paper, that seems like a good idea. Like, you won't know what's gonna happen and stuff. The idea was so cool, and the movie was hated by everyone. So that's why they had to bring Michael back in Halloween 4. We'll get to that on Saturday. Oh, we're doing Halloween 4, 5, and 6 on Saturday because they're all together. They're all a Thorn trilogy. So we're gonna wrap this up pretty quickly. So, not that very many videos, but we have longer videos to review them. So, this movie, I mean, but now I'm gonna review it and be fair. I'm not just gonna say, oh, it doesn't have Michael Myers, it's bad. No, that's not how I'm gonna rate it. So, I haven't watched the movie in years, and the movie has become popular right about this time, and pretty much people are becoming fans of the movie. So some people are saying that this is where the series should go. If they're gonna make a sequel to the new Halloween, that they should go where this went and go into an anthology series. Man, that's so good and all, but man, Michael Myers made me turn my heart. And that movie, it didn't show the franchise. They could have done better, but from what we got, it was OG Myers at its best. But we're here to review this movie, and I think the last time I watched it was 2015. No, it was 2014. I tend to skip over this movie. cause I want to watch. I like watching the Halloween movies over and over again. Like I like how they do it, that marathon and AMC of the killers. And so first of all, I'm gonna start off by saying this movie is the gist of it is that kids wear these masks like Jack Lantern, witch. What was the other one? It I forgot the other one. I don't know, but kids are wearing it and they watch the commercial. Dun 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 dun. Halloween, Halloween. I can't believe Silver Shamrock, And then it was supposed to like there was like something in a mask like that would make the kid's face turn into like roaches and disgusting shit. And now the last time I saw it, now thinking about it, this movie, this was the last movie that John Carpenter did for the Halloween season. Halloween series, new one. Tell you the truth, I went back and watched it and it was pretty good. So I like the Terminator-ish robots, and the death scenes are pretty cool. Like there's this lady that touches like the price tag. I think it was like a Q-chip in the price tag, and she touched it, and then she got her like lipped, like I don't know, like zipped off or something. Like her lip was gone. That was pretty cool. I would have to say. I forgot when this movie came out. I'll After I find out when this movie came out, I'll put it in the description too. So yeah. So then, of course, she got for real. Like I'm not gonna spend too much time in this movie, but yeah, a lot of cool scenes and stuff. It pretty much, and John Carpenter scored it as well. But I don't really have much to say to this movie, but my rating would be like, I would give it a 6 out of 10. And that's not because of Michael not being in it. That's why people, like, I hate these reviews that are not, like, judging movies just based on how they are. Just because Michael Myers isn't in it isn't making it a good film. A 6 out of 10. Mostly because of the stupid plot twist ending. Like, also that girl that had sex with the guy, like, the guy looked way above her age, and they just met and they go to the house and they do it. To me, that's weird. Why would you? You know what? I'm not gonna go into it because I don't want this like my channel like supporting all that stuff. I don't support it at all. But anyways, that's my review on Halloween 2 and 3, the original. And peace, guys.